Welcome, ladies and gents. Here is my RV truck build. I found this truck at an auction in Las Vegas, Nevada. I was actually on the lookout for another vehicle, but I wanted to also have something big for road trips and such. I found this great truck in pretty good condition, given that it had roughly 200,000 miles, but for a truck like this, if it's well maintained, it can go for almost 1 million miles. Here we have some shots of us loading up a bunch of dirt, putting it to good use, removing dirt from my folks' house. It was about 6,000 pounds of dirt. Then we went off to start shopping for material. We began cleaning the steel frame and painting it to remove any possibility of rusting. That's us on top of the cab. And as you can see, it's very durable. I began painting it along with my father and my lady. I think we did a pretty good job. You'll see in the coming clips. This is a 2003 Chevy Silverado. I was able to get it for a decent price, especially for the fact that this is a project to make into an RV, which definitely makes it worth the money I paid for, as well as the fact that I'd be able to save money if I ever decide to leave the, home, steady home, and off into a wild, adventurous lifestyle. Of course, that is something that I plan to do so as soon as I have everything ready, a great bank account and all. But I've decided to go ahead and give it a shot at selling this truck simply because I don't feel that I am ready yet. And also, from having this truck, I have noticed that it may be pretty tough for me to go out and explore certain areas, given that it is about 25 feet long. That's us going ahead and finishing off the frame from the top with some studs. We were there enjoying the day. This was roughly around June, enjoying the heat. I had my cousin come over to help me grind a few things and also assist with bolting on the ceiling and starting off the walls. He also hooked me up with bubble wrap insulation. He does air conditioning construction jobs, so he definitely has a ton of experience working more than 20 years. Here we have most of the frame painted and most of the ceiling as well. My idea for the top portion there on top of the cab was to leave it as a balcony, a nice place to sit down wherever I park and enjoy the outdoors. There we have the insulation that we sprayed on. Well, we added adhesive to the walls. We sprayed it on and then put on the insulation, the bubble wrap. As you can see, we're not 100% finished with the painting. We added some angles there so that our walls could be screwed in nicely, completely. For some sections, the plywood wasn't long enough to meet the next steel beam. And here we have most of the walls done, part of the ceiling starting to come on, and my view on top of that balcony. I could only imagine what this would feel like in a nice, beautiful, wild land setting. Just sitting there enjoying the view. I like to enjoy my cigars, so this was definitely something that I wanted to have. I could already picture myself enjoying a good smoke. And that's us starting to trim part of the ceiling to fit into the beams, the steel beams up there. I added some caulking to the edges there, making sure no water leaked. We added a window to that side and also somewhat of an entrance. Those two, that thing covered in green carp is actually 2 couches, a 3-seater and a 2-seater recliner. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of space in this truck. It's actually 100 square feet for the inside and another perhaps 20 to 25 square feet on the balcony section. That's me drilling in the plywood, the ceiling. As you can see, it took quite some time, and I also added wood flooring on top of the wood bed there that was already constructed with the commercial flatbed, and just kind of playing some Tetris with the boards. I started painting part of the outside white. I added primer along with latex coating and this thing, I forgot the name of it. It's a fireproof liquid that helps reduce the fire time if this were to ever set on fire. I also had plans to add aluminum siding on the outside, but for the moment, since the truck is stationary, I don't feel the need. Although, if I do decide to keep it, or if I end up selling it to someone who sees the value in it, I will definitely advise to do so, given that you want to make sure there's no fires, or at least easy fires done on this vehicle. We also added insulation, as you can see there, and also bubble wrapping as well. On the walls we added two layers of bubble wrap, one on each side, along with adding the walls and the ceiling with some boards. As you can see, we did do quite a bit of work here. This must have taken us about 2 months or so, and yeah, there was a lot of work done. We averaged maybe 2 to 4 hours a day. Made sure that the insulation was nice and sealed there with some of that tape. I must say, I learned a lot with this build. My father has done a few projects here and there, and think we did a pretty decent job there. Here I am bolting on, or should I say screwing on, the rest of the walls. All in all, it's been a pleasure working on this truck. There's a couple more things that I've added as far as the interior goes, like a foam floor on top of that, as well as on the balcony here, a nice grayish deck, tiled deck, or should I say deck tile? I'm not too sure, but it looks a lot nicer. And as far as the ceiling goes, I added roof paint just to increase the protection from water. Here I have this insulation layer for the floor, and like I mentioned, above that I have about a 1 to 2 inch thick foam, which increases insulation as well. And I did end up finishing the whole roof there, and that is the deck that I was talking about. And this is some of the things that I have inside, but of course if I sell it, I'd be selling it with or without it, actually. More than likely without it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you're interested in purchasing this truck, feel free to let me know. I can send you details and all of that. Just go ahead and send me an email and I'll get back to you. All right. Thank you.